Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhirayet. नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः गुरवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकाय तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्ण भक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण. So today we will do a quick summary of the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. So as we know that Srimad Bhagavatam is about Krishna. So in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says whatever philosophical points he wants humanity to know, he says all of them through Arjuna. But Bhagavatam is a pastime of the Lord and his devotees. So Lord and his devotees. And Srimad Bhagavatam is very, very important. We can get Krishna very quickly if we take shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam. So there are so many glories described in Srimad Bhagavatam, in other Puranas. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu emphasizes. So Srimad Bhagavatam is the most important literature for any Vaishnava. Therefore it is told Srimad Bhagavatam Puranam Amalam Jad Vaishnavanam Priyam. So Srimad Bhagavatam is very dear to all the Vaishnavas. In the Padma Puran, it is explained that Srimad Bhagavatam is non-different from Krishna's body. Padau yadiyau prathama dvitiyau tritiya turiyau kathitau yaduru नाभिस्तथा पंचम एव षष्ठो भुजन्तरं दोर्युगलं तथन्यो कंठस्तु राजन्नवमो जदीयो मुखारविन्दं दशमः प्रफुल्लम् एकादशो यस्य ललाटपट्टं शिरोऽपि तु द्वादश एव भाति. So in this shloka we know that how Srimad Bhagavatam is non-different from different limbs of Krishna. Padau yadiyo prathama dvitiyo, first and second canto are the two lotus feet of Krishna. Tritiya turiyo kathitau yaduru, third and fourth canto are Krishna's thighs. Navis tatha panchama, the navel is the fifth canto. Eva sashto bhujantaram, the chest of Krishna is the sixth canto. Dor jugalam tathanyo, two arms are 7 and 8 canto. Kanthastu rajan, the ninth canto is the throat of Krishna. Navamo yadiyo mukharavindam dashama prafullam, and the lotus face of Krishna is the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Ekadasha, the 11th canto is Krishna's forehead, and Siropi tu dvadasha eva vati, Krishna's head is 12th canto. So this is how Krishna is non-different from Bhagavatam, and different topics are described in the 12 cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam. So here we see there are 10 different topics which are explained in Srimad Bhagavatam. So in second canto, 10th chapter, there is a verse. Atra sarga visargascha sthanam poshanam utaya manvantaresha nukatha nirodha mukti rashtraya. So sarga, visarga, primary and secondary creation. Sthanam, the geography of the universe. Poshan, protection offered by the Lord. Uti, different inclinations. Manvantara, the dynasties of Manus, and during the dynasties of Manus, different incarnations of the Lord. Ishanukatha, the science of God, or different stories related to Lord's pastimes. Ashtraya is the Samam Bonam of Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, shelter, and all other cantos are preparing us to read the subject matter of 10th canto. And then 11th canto is Mukti or liberation. 12th canto is Nirodha, how this material universe is annihilated. All those things are explained. So first, second canto, introduction, third, fourth, introduction and some portion of Sarga Visarga. Sarga Visarga in details in 3 and 4. Sthanam in 5th canto, portion of 6th, 7th Uti. So in 7th canto we see Nishingadev, Prahlad Maharaj, Hiranyakashipu. So the auspicious inclinations of Prahlad Maharaj and inauspicious inclinations of Hiranyakashipu. Then 8th canto, different avatars during different manvantaras. 9th canto, we have one portion of Ramayan and other stories related to different kings of different dynasties. 10th canto, Ashraya is the pastimes of Krishna in Vrindavan and other places also, Krishna's pastimes. 11th canto, Mukti. Here we have Uddhav Gita, Navayogendras, Nimi Sambad. 12th canto is Nirodha, how this material world will be annihilated, all those things. So 12th canto, 10 subject matter are explained. This is the chart, how 12 cantos refer to 10 subject matters and how these 12 cantos are relating to 12 different limbs of Krishna's body. So now we can start the first canto. So in the first canto, in the beginning, in the first chapter is entitled Question by the Sages. The sages of Naimisharanya is asking some questions to Suta Goswami, and Suta Goswami is explaining. And Suta Goswami has heard this Srimad Bhagavatam from Shukadev Goswami. Shukadev Goswami was speaking to Pariksit Maharaj. In that assembly, Suta Goswami was present. So he learned from Shukadev Goswami. Then he is spreading this knowledge to the sages of Naimisharanya. And that version of Srimad Bhagavatam we are reading. So in the first 3 verses of Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, first chapter, it is like the prelude of Srimad Bhagavatam. The very first verse explains or defines the absolute truth. Janmadhyasya jatanvayaditarataschaartheshvabhigyasvarat tene brahmaridaya adi kavaye muhyanti jat suraya tejo varimridam yatha vinimayo yatra trisargo mrisha dhamna svena sada nirasta kuhakam satyam param dhimahi. So there are 7 features of Krishna explained. Janmadhyasya jatanvayaditaratascha artheshu abhigya. Janmadhyasya jata, Krishna is the origin of creation, maintenance and destruction. Itaratascha artheshu abhigya. Krishna is cognizant of all the things happening in the entire creation. He is Swarat, he is completely independent. Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavaye. Brahma is called the Adi Kavi or the first living entity. And Krishna has enlightened or given this transcendental knowledge to Brahma. Tejo vari mridam yatha vinimayo yatra ati sargo mrisha. Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavaye muhyanti jat surya. The demigods are bewildered by Krishna's activities. And Tejo vari mridam yatha vinimayo yatra ati sargo mrisha. Although this material world is temporary, it seems permanent due to the illusory potency of the Lord. Dhamna svena sada nirasta kuhakam satyam paramadihami. So Lord in his personal abode is there. So Goloka eva nibasati akhilatma bhuto. Krishna is there in Golok Vrindavan. But still he is orchestrating everything by his different Purusha avatars. And when he comes to this world, he comes along with his associates, his dham and everything. So that is the definition of absolute truth given in the first verse. In the second verse, the characteristics of Srimad Bhagavatam is spoken. Dharma projita kaitavatra paramo nirmatsaranam satam vedyam vastavamatra vastu sivadam tapatrayanumolanam Srimad Bhagavate Mahamunikrite Kimba Pare Ishvara Shadyo Ridyavaruddhate Trikritivi Shushushu Vistatshanat. So in Srimad Bhagavatam, there is no place for Kaitava Dharma or Dharma Artha Kama Moksha. Kaitava Dharma is the Dharma whose purpose is not the satisfaction of Krishna. but to perform dharma, to get artha, and with that artha, to fulfill our kama or material desires. And when we are, actually we are annoyed by this sense gratification, then we aspire for moksha. So this is a traditional path. This is called Kaitava Dharma. And Srimad Bhagavatam only speaks about Bhagavata Dharma. There is no place for Kaitava Dharma in this book. So it speaks about Paramo Dharma. And this is for Nirmat Saranam Shatam, for the non-envious devotees. Vedyam Vastavam Atra Vastu Sivadam. This Srimad Bhagavatam, or the knowledge of Srimad Bhagavatam, is the real substance. And Sivadam, this is most auspicious. Tapotraya Unmulanam. By reading Srimad Bhagavatam, we can get rid of the three kleshas, Adi Atmik, Adi Bhautik, and Adi Daivik klesha. Three kinds of miseries. And this is compiled by Mahamuni Vyasadeva, who is a incarnation of the Supreme Lord. Sadhyo Ridyava Rutratetra Kritivi Shushushuvis Tatshanat. By reading Srimad Bhagavatam and practicing the teachings of Srimad Bhagavatam, we can at once become perfect. Then Srimad Bhagavate Mahamunikrite Kimba Pari Ishvara. What more is required? If we can attain perfection only by reading Srimad Bhagavatam, what more Shastra is required? So Srimad Bhagavatam is the essence of all Vedic literature. So therefore, in the third verse, it is told, Nigama kalpatarur galitam phalam sukhamukhadam mritadrava samyutam pivata bhagavata rasamalayam muhuraho rasika bhuvi bhavukam. So Srimad Bhagavatam is the ripened fruit of Nigama Kalpataru, or the entire Vedic literature. Srimad Bhagavatam is the ripened fruit. And it is further sweetened because it is coming from the lotus lips of Shukadeva Goswami, who is a self-realized soul. And an open invitation is given that Pibata Bhagavata Rasamalayam Muhuraho Rasika Bhuvi Bhabuka. All the thoughtful persons in this world who are looking for something good, they are invited to read this Srimad Bhagavatam. So with this prelude, the first canto, first chapter starts. And chapter 1 is entitled The Question by the Sages. So the sages of Naimisharanya is asking 6 questions to Suta Goswami. What are those 6 questions? What is the ultimate good for people in general? First question. Second question, just tell the essence of all the scriptures. Because in Kali Yuga, people have very short memory. So they cannot remember everything, even if you speak. So therefore, only speak in sutras, the essence of all Vedic literature. What is the purpose of Krishna's appearance as the son of Devaki? Lord's incarnations for creation, maintenance, and distraction. Or in other words, the Purusha avatars. Explain about the Purusha avatars. Fourth. Fifth question, explain about the Leela avatars, or the pastime incarnations of the Lord. And sixth question and the final question is, where did Dharma take shelter after the departure of Krishna? So Suta Goswami answers these 2 questions in chapter 2nd and 3rd of the first canto. In the 2nd chapter, first Suta Goswami starts by offering prayers to Sukadeva Goswami. Jasyanubhava makhila stuti saramekam adhyatma deepamatiti tirshatam tamondham samsarinam karunaya purana guhyam tam vyasasunamupayami gurum muninam. So this is a wonderful prayer to Sukadeva Goswami, how he has realized the essence of all scriptures, and for the benefit of the people in this material world, he is just speaking Srimad Bhagavatam. So after offering prayers to Sukadeva Goswami, Suta Goswami starts answering these 6 questions. Answer to first and second question, what is the ultimate good for people in general and the essence of scriptures, is given in Srimad Bhagavatam 1.2.6. Savaipum samparo dharmo jato bhakti radhukshaje ahaitukiya pratihata yajatma suprasidati vasudeve bhagavati bhakti yoga prayojitam janayatyashu vairagyam jnanam cha yad ahaitukam. So Savaipum samparo dharmo jato bhakti radhukshaje. The essence of all scriptures is bhakti unto adhokshaja, or the transcendent Lord. And this bhakti should be ahituki and apratihata, without any motivation and without any interruption. Now, what is the effect of this bhakti? Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Janayati Ashu Vairagyam Jnanam Cha Yat Ahitukam. By practice of devotional service, very quickly we will develop Jnana and Vairagya, knowledge and renunciation. And there are series of sloka. And Srila Prabhupada has compiled another book called Dharma. In that book, the series of slokas are given. The different 14 stages of devotional service is given. Rupa Goswami gives us 9 stages of devotional service, but here 14 stages of devotional service given. Satam Kripa, Mahat Seva, Shraddha, Guru Padashray, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajan Kriya, Anartha Nibriti, Nishta, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhava, Prem, Darshan of the Lord, and then Madhurya Anubhav, experiencing the sweetness of the Lord. So then, the teaching is also given that Krishna is to be worshipped. The bhakti should be done unto Vasudev, Krishna, not to the demigods. So Vasudev is the essence. So this is the essence. Worship Vasudev and do devotional service unto Vasudev. This is the essence of all scriptures. And this is for the benefit of people in general. Question 1 and 2 is answered. And then he first answers the 4th question about the Purusha avatars. So he explains about Mahavishnu, Garbhodokoshai Vishnu, Shirodokoshai Vishnu. Then at the end of this chapter, he explains why Krishna comes to this world, which is the answer to question 3, to reclaim the fallen souls. To reclaim the fallen souls, Krishna comes, displays his divine pastimes, attracts the fallen conditioned souls and takes them back to God. This is the purpose of Krishna's appearance. In the 3rd chapter, he addresses the 5th questions regarding Lila Avataras. So he enumerates 22 different Lila Avataras, including Krishna. Then he specifically mentions the supreme position of Krishna. Ete chamsa kalapamsa Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indrari Vyakulam Lokam Vidayanti Juge Juge. He also explains about the universal form. And by performing devotional service, one can understand his glories of Krishna. Saveda dhatu padavim parasya duranta viryash rathangapane jomayaya santataya anuvritya bhajeta tatpada saroja gandham. Jo amayaya santataya anubritya. If your devotional service contains these 3 qualities, amayaya, without any reservation, santataya, without any interruption, and anuvritya, favorably, then you can understand the glories of Krishna. Then finally, in the 3rd chapter, he answers the 6th question, where did Dharma take shelter after departure of Krishna? So it is explained that Krishne swadhamupogate dharma jnana divishaha Kalo nastadrishamesha puranarko dhunoditam. Krishna swadham upagate dharma jnana divisha. When Krishna went back to his abode, Golok Vrindavan. Because Krishna is the personification of dharma, when Krishna returned to the Golok Vrindavan, all dharma and transcendental knowledge went back with him. And the dark age of Kali Yuga came upon this earth. Then Krishna mercifully again descended as Srimad Bhagavatam. Krishna swadham upagata dharma jnana divisha kalo nasta drishamesha puranarko dhunodita. And this Srimad Bhagavatam is the Puranarka. It is the Arka or sun among all the different Puranas. So Krishna again came as Srimad Bhagavatam. And in Kali Yuga, the shelter of Dharma is Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is 3rd chapter. In the 1st chapter, 6 questions were asked. In 2nd and 3rd chapter, these were answered. Now in the 4th chapter again, there are more questions by the sages of Naimisharanya. There are fresh questions coming up. What are these questions? First question is about the history and author of Srimad Bhagavatam. When and where Srimad Bhagavatam was written, why it was written, and inspired by whom it was written. Second question is about Pariksit Maharaja, who is the hearer of Srimad Bhagavatam, about his birth, activities, departure, renunciation. Third question is about Sukadev Goswami, how Pariksit Maharaj met Sukadev Goswami, how he was recognized as a self-realized soul. Because externally you cannot identify Sukadev Goswami, he is like moving naked. You cannot understand that he is a Paramahamsa. How Sukadev Goswami agreed to stay for a long time. Sukadev Goswami used to stay with any materialistic person for 30 minutes or the time period of milking a cow. Then how come Shukadeva Goswami agreed to stay for 7 days with Pariksit Maharaj? Pariksit Maharaj was about to die in 7 days. He was cursed by one Brahmana boy. So that episode will come later in this canto. So how did Shukadeva Goswami agree to stay long? These are the new questions. So now in the chapter 4 itself, it is explained that Vyasdev. So the first question is being answered. What is the history and author of Srimad Bhagavatam? So once Vyasdev was contemplating on the precarious condition of Kali Yuga people, that they cannot remember anything. So the Vedic knowledge has to be written down. So therefore, he divided all the Vedas in Rig, Sam, Yaju, Atharva and given to different disciples. Rig Veda given to Paila Rishi, Sama Veda to Jaimini, Yajur Veda to Vaishampayan, and Atharva to Angira, and Puranas to Romaharsha. He also wrote Mahabharat for the people with less intelligence. Still, he was dissatisfied at the heart. He was not finding the proper reason. So he was meditating and he was thinking, maybe I have not glorified Krishna much, therefore I am dissatisfied. And then in the 5th chapter, it is explained how Narad Muni, the spiritual master of Vyasadev, comes on his own accord and instructs Vyasadev about the reason for his despondency. Narada says, why are you despondent in spite of following all the rules and regulations? So Vyasadev is telling, Gurudev, you know everything. You are like sun. You are the Shaktave's incarnation of the Supreme Lord. You know everything. So please diagnose the cause of my despondency. Then Narada did diagnose. What was Narada's diagnosis? First, you have not glorified the Supreme Lord and Bhakti Yoga. You have glorified Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. You have encouraged the common people for sense gratification. You have encouraged common people to do karmakandik yagyas and go to Swargaloka in the Vedas. Krishna also criticizes this in Bhagavad Gita. Jamimam pushpitam bhacham. So he says that the Vedas contain flowery language. They show you very big dreams that, okay, you can do this yagya and then you can go to Swargalokam and then you can enjoy. But the truth is, Petam Bhunktva Swargalokam Vishalam Shine Punya Marta Lokam Vishanti. Evam Traidharmam Anuprapanna Gatagatam Kama Kamalavante. Krishna criticizes that this is not permanent solution, this is not permanent happiness. So Narada Muni also says that you have not glorified Krishna and Krishna Bhakti enough. So therefore, whatever you have written, I consider them to be dustbin. Narada Muni says, Najadvachas Chitra Padam Harer Jasho Jagat Pavitram Praginita Karhi Ched Tadvayasham Tirthamushanti Manasa Najatra Hamsa Niramantu Shikshayan Tadvag Vishargo Janata Gabiplabo Jasmin Pratishlokam Avadyavatyapi Namananantasya Jashunkitani Yat Shinvanti Gayanti Grinanti Shadava Najadvachas Chitra Padam Harer Jasho. Those literatures which do not depict the glories of the Supreme Lord, that glory is which alone can sanctify the entire world. Those literatures which are devoid of such glories, those are like Vayasam Tirtham, pilgrimage place for crows. And what is a pilgrimage place for crows? It is dustbin. Najatra Hamsa Niramantu Shikshaya, and the Paramahamsas do not take pleasure in such literatures. On the other hand, the spiritual literatures, even if they are imperfectly composed, Namani Anantasya Jashunkitani Yat, because they are depicting the glories of Lord's name form qualities, Shinvanti Gayanti Grinanti Shadava, it is accepted, chanted, and applied in their own life by the sadhavas or the sadhus. So therefore, if you write something with mistake and that glorifies Supreme Lord, it is better than writing something impeccable without the glories of the Lord. So therefore, Narada Muni instructs that you please glorify Bhakti and write spiritual literature, which is exclusively Krishna Bhakti and about Krishna. Tyakta swadharmam charanam bhujam harer bhajanna pakko tapatittato jadi jatrakko bhavadram abhuda mushyakim ko varth apta bhajatam swadharmatam. So if one perfectly executes his material duty, what he will attain? He will attain some pleasure in the Swargaloka, then again he has to come back. But on the other hand, if somebody is not executing the material duties or the varnashram duties perfectly with some mistake, but on the other hand, he is a pure devotee of the Supreme Lord, bhajan apakko patit tato jadi. And even in the pure devotional service, if he falls down from the stage of pure devotional service, what is the loss for him? There is no loss, because Krishna promises this. Suchinam Srimatam Gehe Yoga Vrashta Abhijayate. If you fall down from the path of yoga also, Krishna is back up. Krishna will give you birth in aristocratic family or in a family of Brahmanas. So again, you are resuming from the point you left in the previous life. So you are losing nothing. But if you do only material duties impeccably, you will lose everything after death. So that's the point. So therefore, only substance is spiritual life. So write some literature glorifying that spiritual life, Krishna and Krishna Bhakti. And then in the 6th chapter, Narada describes his previous example, like Narada describes his previous birth, how Narada Muni was born as a Dasi Putra, or son of a maid servants. Then the Bhakti Vedantas came during the Chaturmasya period, and they initiated Narada Muni, and then Narada Muni, by the mercy of the Bhakti Vedantas, attained perfections. Narada Muni also got the remnants of the prasadam of the Bhakti Vedantas. So this is how Narada Muni became Narada Muni, by the mercy of the Bhakti Vedantas. And Narada Muni's mother was beaten by a serpent, and then she died. And Narada Muni, in the previous life, he took this as a blessings, and he went to travel different places. So his last attachment towards his family is also destroyed. So Narada Muni utilizes this opportunity to travel to different places, and he sat under a tree and meditated on the Supreme Lord. He could see the Supreme Lord inside the heart, but Supreme Lord came for some time, then he vanished. Again, Narada Muni is trying to see the Supreme Lord, but he is not able to see. So Lord says that you perform bhakti. So Narada meditates under the Lord, could see the Lord, and then suddenly the Lord disappeared. So Narada Muni became very agitated that I just saw the Lord and now he is not there. So Narada Muni tried to see him again. Okay. And then Lord told that Narada, you are not completely purified of material things. So Lord is saying this just to increase the love of Narada Muni, because Narada Muni is already pure, otherwise he would not be able to see the Supreme Lord face to face. So he was already purified, but Lord wanted to increase his love, his Krishna Bhakti, Krishna Prem. So therefore he told that you have to do more bhajan. So this is how Narada Muni gave his own example also, and also gave instruction that you write Srimad Bhagavatam by completely glorifying the Supreme Lord. You will be satisfied, and the readers will also be satisfied by this. Then Vyasadeva, after departure of Narada Muni, he starts meditating and he is preparing to write Srimad Bhagavatam. So in his meditation, Vyasadeva saw three things: Krishna, the living entity, and Maya. Anarthopashamam sakshat bhakti yogam adhakshajem lokasya janato vidmam chakre shashwata samhitam. So anarthopashamam sakshat. So Vyasadeva in the meditation saw Krishna is there, and Jiva is also there, living entity as a part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. And Maya is also there, and due to this Maya or illusory energy, the Jiva or the living entities are suffering. Then he thought, what is the medicine? And in his meditation, he also recognized the medicine for this. What is the medicine for this suffering of the Jivas? Anartho pasamam sakshat bhakti yogam adakshaje. Again comes the same point. Bhakti yoga towards the transcendent Lord is the medicine for everything. In the Mukunda Mala Stotra, Kulashekar Maharaj says, Vyamoha prasamaushadham munimuno vitti pravittaushadham daitintartikaraushadham tribhuvanem sanjeevanaikaushadham bhaktatantahitaushadham bhavavaya pradhamsanaikaushadham shreya praptikaraushadham pivamana Shri Krishna divyaushadham So Lord's name is the best medicine. And what are the different effects of Lord's name? In what cases it acts like a medicine is explained in this sloka. We will not go into the details. But the Lord's name, form, qualities, devotional service unto the transcendent Lord is the medicine for all problems in the material world. Jasham Vaishruyamanayam Krishne Paramapurushe Bhaktirutpadyate Pumsha Shokamoha Bhayapaham. Just by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, we can develop love for Krishna. It is so potent. Then after this, Vyasdev wrote this Srimad Bhagavatam. He understood that this is the medicine for Kali Yuga souls. And after writing this Srimad Bhagavatam, he taught this Srimad Bhagavatam to his own son Sukadeva Goswami. Now, the sages of Naimisaranya, Saunakadi Rishis, are hearing this from Suta Goswami. Then the Saunaka Rishi asked Suta Goswami that why Sukadeva Goswami has to go through reading of Srimad Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam is for the conditioned souls to make them liberated. But Sukadeva Goswami is already liberated. What is the necessity for Sukadeva Goswami to read Srimad Bhagavatam? Then comes this important Atmarama sloka of Srimad Bhagavatam. Atmaramascha munayo nirgantha apyurukrame kurvanti yahaitu kim bhaktim itham bhuta guno hari. So it is explained that the Supreme Lord is so attractive and bhakti of the Supreme Lord is so attractive that it is even prescribed for the liberated souls. Liberated souls are at the stage of mukti, but bhakti is even superior than mukti. So therefore, even the liberated souls like Sukadeva Goswami aspire for hearing and speaking about Lord's glories, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam and all. And in this chapter, 7th chapter, there is another episode explained, which comes in the relation of answering the question about Pariksit Maharaj. So in chapter 4, 5, 6, we have seen the context of how Srimad Bhagavatam was written, Vyasa Narada Sambad. And then in the 7th chapter, we will see how Pariksit Maharaj comes into the play. What is the context of Pariksit Maharaj? So after the Mahabharata war, Ashwathama, the son of Dronacharya, he killed the 5 sleeping sons of Pandavas. And then Draupadi was the mother. Draupadi was crying in pain. And then Arjuna is chasing Ashwathama and Krishna is the chariot driver. So in the Srimad Bhagavatam, this is the first entry of Krishna. Krishna is entering as a chariot driver of Arjuna. So this is the Bhakta Vatsalya of the Lord. He likes to introduce himself as a servant of devotee. So Arjuna is chasing Ashwathama. Then Ashwathama releases one Brahmastra out of fear. Then by that Brahmastra, everything is becoming hot and the whole material universe is about to annihilate. That time Arjuna is praying to Krishna. Krishna Krishna Mahabaho Bhaktanam Avayankara Tameko Daihyamananam Apargo Apavargo Shisamsritem. So you are the only one who can protect us. Please, Krishna, protect us in this situation. So Krishna then says, oh, Arjuna, you also release another Brahmastra and you retract both the Brahmastras together. Because Ashwathama don't know how to retract a Brahmastra. He only knows how to release it. So then according to Krishna's instruction, Arjuna does that. And ultimately Ashwathama is caught. And then Krishna is telling Ashwathama, Krishna is telling Arjuna that you please kill Ashwathama. Then when Ashwathama was brought in front of Draupadi, there was difference of opinion. Bhima is telling we must kill. Draupadi is telling no, after all he is son of our Gurudev Dronacharya, so you must forgive. Then Yudhishthira Maharaj is also supporting Draupadi. At this situation, Krishna is telling Arjuna that you reconcile the situation and that you have given promise to Draupadi that you will kill Ashwathama, and also your elder brother, he is telling not to kill. So ultimately, Arjuna removed the jewel from the head of Ashwathama, and that is like defaming Ashwathama. Defaming a person is similar to killing, and at the same time, he did not kill literally. So this is how Arjuna manages the situation. Arjuna manages both parties. So Ashwathama is given punishment. That is the 7th chapter. In the 8th chapter, we have the prayers by Queen Kunti and Pariksit Maharaj saved. So once Ashwathama was released after this, after defaming or after cutting the jewel from his head, so then Ashwathama goes to some distance, and then again he releases one Brahmastra to kill Pariksit Maharaj in the womb of Uttara, who is the son of Abhimanyu. Abhimanyu died in the Kurukshetra war, but Pariksit was there inside the womb of Uttara. So Ashwathama wanted to finish the whole dynasty of Pandavas. So therefore he also releases one Brahmastra to kill the last descendant of Pandavas, who is Pariksit Maharaj. But Krishna has protected Pariksit Maharaj in the womb. So he is protected by Vishnu or Krishna. Therefore, Pariksit Maharaj is also known as Vishnu Rat. So Uttara comes running to Krishna that some fiery weapon is coming towards her to kill the embryo. Please protect my embryo. If I am killed, there is no problem, but please protect my embryo. He is the only descendant of the Pandavas. So Krishna protects. Krishna enters the womb of Uttara as Paramatma. Then Krishna protects from the Brahmastra. Then Krishna is ready to depart, and Queen Kunti is praying to Krishna to stay for some time. So he described different qualities of Krishna and different discrepancies about Krishna's birth and Krishna's reciprocation with Mother Yashoda, how Krishna is very difficult to understand for different personalities. So all those things are there. After hearing the prayers of Queen Kunti, Krishna smiled and started to depart towards Dwarka. Then Yudhishthira Maharaj comes and he is lamenting like anything, and he is considering himself to be the culprit of the whole massacre during the war. And nobody is able to make him, nobody is able to soothe him or console him. Krishna, Vyasadeva, Dhaumya Rishi could not console Yudhishthira Maharaj. So Krishna is there in everyone's heart as Paramatma. If Krishna wants to convince someone, so Krishna can do that in 1 second. As Paramatma, he will just give one indication and internally he will be convinced. But here Krishna is also not able to convince. So this is Krishna's pastime. He actually wants to glorify Vishmadev. Therefore, he is showing that, see, I am also not able to convince. By my devotee, Vishmadev is able to convince Yudhishthira Maharaj. So Vishmadev is more knowledgeable than me. So in the 9th chapter, we have the passing away of Vishmadev. So when Vishmadev sees the Pandavas, also Krishna wanted to let Vishmadev see the Pandavas, because Vishmadev has only seen the Pandavas during difficult times. Now Pandavas they are in a royal attire, and Krishna wanted Vishmadev to see this form of the Pandavas. He will be satisfied to see, because after all, Vishmadev was very affectionate towards the Pandavas as grandfather. So Vishmadev welcomes everyone and he says, Aho kastamahanyayam yadjuyam dharmanandana. So you have gone through so many sufferings. Oh, there are so many sufferings. So now Vishmadev says that I am happy to see you in this form. And then Vishmadev is preparing to pass away. He was actually waiting for Krishna. And when Krishna arrived, he will pass away by seeing Krishna face to face. So Vishmadev starts glorifying Krishna, and there are several verses in which Vishmadev glorifies Krishna, praise to Krishna, Vismastuti is there. So there also Vishmadev glorifies the form of Krishna in the battlefield, where Krishna was trying to keep the promise of Vishmadev. And so Vishmadev promised that the next day in the war, I am going to kill all the Pandavas. The only exception will happen if Krishna takes up a weapon. Krishna has taken a vow that during the war of Mahabharata or Kurukshetra war, I will not lift any weapon. So Krishna sacrificed his own vow to protect the life of his devotee Arjuna and to protect the vow of Vishmadev. So Vishmadev glorifies that aspect, and different bodily beauty of Krishna in the battlefield. So he glorifies this Parthasarthi form of Krishna. And with this meditation, he passes away. And before that, he also has taught several dharmas to Yudhishthira Maharaj, like Raj Dharma, Dana Dharma, Stri Dharma. And finally, he also taught Bhagavat Dharma. Then Vishwadev goes back to his eternal abode, Parthasarthi Loka. In the 10th chapter, the departure of Lord Krishna for Dwarka is explained. The Hastinapur Vasis are feeling separation from Krishna, and the Krishna is preparing to go to Dwarka. Now Yudhishthira Maharaj is giving some soldiers for protection of Krishna, and Krishna also accepts those soldiers. So this is an expression of love. During the whole war of Kurukshetra, it is Krishna only who protected all the Pandavas. Otherwise, in every step, there was life danger for the Pandavas. Bhishan Mahagne Purushada Darshana Asat Savaya Vanavasha Krichata Mridhe Mridhe Neka Maharathastato Dunastataha Chasmi Hare Virakshita. So Kunti Maharani enumerates all the different dangers his sons has gone through, and Krishna has protected in all circumstances. But here, Yudhishthira Maharaj, out of love, is offering some soldiers for Krishna's protection, and Krishna accepts them to be offering of love. So the Hastinapur Vasis are feeling separation from Krishna, and the ladies are speaking different glories of Krishna among them. They are lamenting, they are feeling separation. So these talks by the ladies are more favorite to Krishna than the hymns of the Vedas, because they are with spontaneous love. So Krishna loves this spontaneous offering with bhakti. Now in the 11th chapter, the Sambhoga Rasa, or the union of Krishna with Dwarkavasis, are explained. Dwarkavasis are celebrating like anything. Krishna's, and they are welcoming Krishna with conch shell and all different presentations to Krishna. And they are telling that you are, oh my Lord, you are always outside of Dwarka. So if you are always outside, how can we live? We can't leave you like this. We can't maintain our lives without seeing you. So you are always out of station. Please have some mercy and stay for some longer time in Dwarka also. You are the mother and father of us, everyone. And the beautiful form of Krishna is explained. It's like two moons, two chamaras or whisks. They are appearing to be two moons. There is one sun of the umbrella. Rainbow is Krishna's garland. Cloud is Krishna's body. Neela Megha Swam. And then lightning dhoti. And the flowers are like stars. So everything together. When Krishna was walking, chamaras, umbrella, garland, Krishna's bodily hue, and Pitambar dhoti, everything is like there is two moon, one sun, rainbow, cloud, lightning, stars together. So this is how the form of Krishna is explained. And then when Krishna reaches in Dwarka, he reciprocates with everyone. He reciprocates with the mothers and reciprocates with Krishna's children and Krishna's wives also. So in this way, the union of Dwarkavasis with Krishna is explained. Now, Sutta Goswami has gone off track a little bit. The original question was asked about 3 topics, about the context of Srimad Bhagavatam, the history and author of Srimad Bhagavatam, that was answered. And then to explain about Pariksit Maharaj, this whole episode of Aswathama was explained. And then Sutta Goswami was carried away a little bit. And then he went into the prayers of Queen Kunti, prayers of Vishmadev, separation from Hastinapur, union in Dwarka, all those things. Then in chapter 12 again, Sutta Goswami is reminded of the original question that we wanted to know about Pariksit Maharaj. So tell us more about Pariksit Maharaj, not about different other topics as you were explaining. So come back to the original topic. Sometimes we see that we have to remind the Bhagavatam speaker that we were discussing on this topic. Please throw some light on this topic first. So they reminded of the original question. And then again, Sutta Goswami comes back to the point how Pariksit Maharaj was protected by the Lord in the womb of Uttara. And during the birth of Pariksit Maharaj, different Brahmanas made different predictions that Pariksit Maharaj will be a great king and he will nicely take care of the kingdom. He will have great valor, and like there's different predictions about different qualities of Pariksit Maharaj was explained. And meanwhile, Yudhishthira Maharaj performed 3 horse sacrifices. And meanwhile, Vidura was banished by Duryodhana because Vidura was giving some good counsel to Dhritarashtra. Therefore, Duryodhana could not take that and he banished Vidura from Hastinapur. Vidura utilizes this opportunity to go to first Uddhava and then Maitreya. So we hear this Maitreya Vidura Sambad in 3rd canto. Now, so Srimad Bhagavatam in the 1st chapter, we have like an overview. So in the 1st chapter, in the 1st canto, 12th chapter, Vidura leaves Hastinapur, and in the 13th chapter, Vidura comes back. And within this 1st canto, chapter 12 and 13th, there is 3rd and 4th canto. So it is not in a chronological order, but it is in a logical order, how things were explained by Sutta Goswami. Okay, so because Sutta Goswami is explaining something, then somebody questions, tell me about this part, Maitreya Vidura Sambad. Then he goes into the past, that how Vidura learned from Maitreya. So like that, some topics of the past will come in the future cantos. So this happens because sometimes we narrate some story, then somebody asks some question, and then we have to describe the past incidents. So this is the exact theme of Srimad Bhagavatam. This is how Bhagavatam was explained. So Vidura goes to hear from Maitreya, the 3rd and 4th canto. So that will be explained in the 3rd and 4th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Now he comes back again to Hastinapur, and at that time everything is over. The Kurukshetra war is over, and Dhritarashtra is there in the home. Ideally, he should take Banprastha and go to forest. Then Vidura again counsels Dhritarashtra. This time Duryodhana is not present, so it is easier to counsel Dhritarashtra. And he chastises with very strong words. Dhritarashtra, you are like a dog. You are here in the Grihastha ashram still. Yes, Prabhu, we will take questions during the end. So let us first cover, there are 6 chapters, then we will discuss. So you just note down the question. So Dhritarashtra is there, still there in the Grihastha ashram. So Vidura comes and chastises him greatly. And this time Dhritarashtra accepts because the bad association is gone. Duryodhana is gone. Therefore, Dhritarashtra takes Vidura's word seriously and goes to forest to perform Ashtanga Yoga. Then again, Yudhishthira Maharaj considers himself to be the reason for the disappearance of Dhritarashtra, and he is again lamenting that maybe I have not taken care of Dhritarashtra nicely, therefore he has left. So Narada Muni pacifies Yudhishthira that everything happens by the will of the Lord. Lord has plans for everyone. So you don't worry about Dhritarashtra. He is there, he will perform Ashtanga Yoga and will leave body and go back to Godhead. And also Gandhari will also do that. So Krishna has plans for everyone, you don't worry. And when Krishna, all plans are executed, then Lord will also go back to his abode. So therefore, Narada pacifies Yudhishthira. Also, this statement that Krishna will also go back to his own abode after execution of all plans is a slight hint that maybe Krishna has also disappeared. Yudhishthira Maharaj catches that. And in the chapter 4, the disappearance of Lord Krishna is explained. How Arjuna went to Dwarka for 7 months and he is not coming back. Here, Yudhishthira Maharaj is seeing different inauspicious omens, different inauspicious symptoms. Fearful change in the course of time, greed, deception, cheating increasing, quarrel among the family members, left part of the body quivering, jackals are howling, cows are passing on the left, like that. He is thinking, why I am seeing so much bad omens? Did Krishna depart? But Yudhishthira Maharaj's heart is not able to accept the fact. And he is also worrying over the matter that Arjuna has not returned after 7 months also. And he was discussing all these topics with Bhima. Yudhishthira Maharaj was discussing. And suddenly, Arjuna comes after 7 months. Then Yudhishthira Maharaj is asking Arjuna different questions. Is everything good? Our relatives of the Yadu dynasty are good. Krishna is doing good. Krishna's queens, Krishna's sons, they are doing good. Are you well? Why are you so morose? What is the reason? Are you disrespected? Are you disrespectfully addressed, threatened, failed to give charity? And there are so many reasons. Rejected by some woman, defeated by some inferior, taken meals alone, committed abominable mistake. What happened? Yudhishthira Maharaj was asking different questions in a hope that one of these answers will be yes. And I will not have to hear that Krishna has departed. So therefore he is asking this question. But Yudhishthira Maharaj is very intelligent. He can understand by all the symptoms that Krishna has departed. But still he is asking different question in a hope that one of those questions should return with a yes answer, so that the cause is not Krishna's departure, because my heart is not ready to take that. Ultimately, Yudhishthira Maharaj had to ask, did Krishna depart? Because there was no answer from Arjuna for all these questions. And then Arjuna replies with a dejected heart that I am cheated, I am now powerless without Krishna. Krishna has empowered me for some particular service. Now Krishna is not there. I am also devoid of all powers. And truly, Arjuna could not take care of Krishna's queens. Some normal people defeated Arjuna. So this is a teaching that Krishna gives us some power for some special service. And he may withdraw also, because those powers are not required to go back to Godhead. Those powers are required to do a certain kind of seva. So whenever Krishna wants some certain kind of service from us, he will empower. But we should not be attached to that power. That is Krishna's property. So Arjuna enumerates all different accomplishments and give credit, all those credit to Krishna. Without Krishna, we are useless. Arjuna remembers the Bhagavad Gita instructions and becomes steady again, which is relevant in all situations, Bhagavad Gita. And then Pandavas, they are preparing for Mahaprasthan. They are saying that, okay, Krishna is not there now. Kali Yuga is also coming. So it is not proper that we stay for more years. We should leave. So they prepare for leaving their body. That is called Mahaprasthan. They coronated Pariksit Maharaj as the king and they departed. Now the rules of Pariksit Maharaj started. As predicted by the Brahmanas, Pariksit Maharaj is Pariksit Maharaj is administrating like a very wonderful king. All the qualities of great kings are there in Pariksit Maharaj. But during the reign of Pariksit Maharaj, there is an episode of how Pariksit Maharaj interacted with the Kali Yuga. So Pariksit Maharaj ruled very nicely. He married Iravati and his son was Janmejaya. He did 3 horse sacrifices. And the main activity is he punished Kali. Then Saunaka Rishi asked Sutta Goswami, who is this Kali? And why, who is Kali is explained. Then Pariksit Maharaj, how Pariksit Maharaj dealt with Kali, that is explained by Sutta Goswami. Now Saunaka Rishi is asking, why Pariksit Maharaj did not kill Kali? So Kali Yuga, what he was doing, there was one cow and one bull. The bull is representing Dharma and the cow is representing Mother Earth. And this Kali Yuga, or this Shudra man, this man is torturing this cow and bull. So one who tortures cow and bull should be killed. But Pariksit Maharaj did not kill Kali. So Saunaka is asking why he did not kill. So then the whole episode is explained. The episode is the cow is Dhara and the bull is Dharma. They are conversing among each other. Dharma or the bull is asking the cow, why you are lamenting, why you are crying, Dhara? Due to any disease, due to my condition? Because condition of Dharma is very precarious in Kali Yuga. Due to my condition you are crying? Due to unlawful meat eaters, due to demigods, for all living beings, famine, drought, women and children are unprotected. Goddess of learning, Saraswati, is not giving her mercy, or people are not conversant with the scriptures. Brahmana serving king instead of guiding. So what is the, and due to Krishna's absence. So what is the your reason for despondency. Then Dhara or the cow replies, yes, all of these reasons are correct. And the most appropriate reason is Krishna is not there. I am the one devotee who has taken Krishna's association to the most. When Krishna is in Hastinapur, Dwarkavasis are missing his association. When Krishna is in Dwarka, other places, devotees are missing his association. But wherever there is Krishna, Krishna's lotus feet are always on Mother Earth, and Mother Earth had constant association of Krishna. Therefore, her feeling of separation will be the most. Then in the chapter 17, it is explained the whole episode how this Kali Yuga or this Sudra person was torturing the cow and the bull. So Pariksit Maharaj reached there and saw that a Sudra in attire of administrator is torturing the bull, and the bull is terrified, standing on one leg. Pariksit Maharaj took out his sword to kill Kali, but Pariksit Maharaj wanted one statement of accusation from the bull so that he can punish. Then Dharma says, or the bull says, I am bewildered, I don't know who is the cause of my suffering. Different people have different opinions. Is it due to my karma I am suffering, or this person is the cause of my suffering, or Daiva is the cause of my suffering? I don't know. You figure out yourself what is the cause. So Dharma's ambiguous statements represent that this is in Kali Yuga everyone will be confused. And Dharma's this philosophical analysis that different persons say different people to be the responsible of one karmic reaction. So actually this Dharma or the bull did not blame anybody for his suffering. So this is one Vaishnava quality. If some suffering is coming from some person, we should not blame that person. We must understand it is our karma, and therefore we are getting the reaction through this person. Srila Prabhupada used to say, don't blame the instrument of your own karma. So this is what is happening. Then Pariksit Maharaj understood that this Kali is torturing, therefore the bull is in a precarious condition, and Pariksit Maharaj attempted to kill Kali. Then Kali surrendered to Pariksit Maharaj that I am also your citizen, don't kill me. Then Pariksit Maharaj told, okay, I will not kill you, but you cannot stay in my kingdom. But Pariksit Maharaj ruled the whole earth. So therefore Kali is telling that everything is under the jurisdiction of your administration. Where should I live? So give me some place, I am also one resident. So Pariksit Maharaj told, okay, wherever there is meat eating, gambling, intoxication, illicit sex, you can stay. Now in the administration of Pariksit Maharaj, there is no place where there is meat eating, gambling, intoxication, illicit sex. So therefore Kali is again telling that I cannot find any place with these things. So give me some other place. Then Pariksit Maharaj told that, okay, wherever there is accumulation of gold, you can stay there. So this is how Pariksit Maharaj gave us a foolproof plan how to avoid Kali. If we follow these 4 regulative principles, no meat eating, no gambling, no intoxication, no illicit sex, and if we do not accumulate our wealth, but we utilize our wealth in Krishna's service, if we follow these 5 things, then we can be free from the effect of Kali. So this is the reason why Pariksit Maharaj did not kill Kali, because Kali surrendered. And tactfully, Pariksit Maharaj gave him some places to stay. But if somebody wants to stay away from Kali, he has to follow these 5 regulative principles. Then he can stay away from Kali. Now in the chapter 18 and 19, how Pariksit Maharaj met with Sukadeva Goswami and how he was cursed. Why Bhagavatam was speaking, why Sukadeva Goswami was speaking Bhagavatam to Pariksit Maharaj. That episode is explained. This is the last episode of first canto. So what happened? Once Pariksit Maharaj went to forest and he felt thirsty. So he saw one hermitage of Samik Rishi and he went there and asked for some water. Samik Rishi was in great samadhi, therefore he gave no response. Pariksit Maharaj was agitated and out of anger, Pariksit Maharaj garlanded Samik Rishi with a dead snake. So this anger, a pure devotee does not become angry, even if there is provoking situations. But here Pariksit Maharaj is becoming angry by the desire of the Lord, because Lord wants Srimad Bhagavatam to come to this world. So Samik Rishi was in trance. He did not take any offense. He did not notice only that I am garlanded with a snake. But the son of Shamik Rishi, Shringi, got offended by this and cursed Pariksit Maharaj to die within 7 days. So this is the first incident where a Brahmana is misutilizing his Brahminical power. A king should never, the ruling monarch or the king should never be cursed. And cursing him to die for such a offense is not appropriate. If Pariksit Maharaj is killing someone, then you can curse him to die. But for this offense, it was not appropriate to curse him to die within 7 days. So this is misuse of Brahminical power, and this is marking the beginning of Kali Yuga. And in Kali Yuga, Brahminical people will misuse their power, and they will distort the scriptural statements for their own benefit. And that is happening, we can see. So Shringi came home and crying loudly, seeing his father's insult. Shringi told that I curse Pariksit Maharaj for this offense. Now Samiki Rishi lamented and took pity on this child, that what offense you have done, you have cursed a pure devotee. Now Samiki Rishi started praying for his son, that Lord, please forgive my son, he has cursed a pure devotee. Then what can be done now? Shringi has cursed Pariksit Maharaj. Then Samik Rishi sends a disciple called Gaurmukha to inform Pariksit Maharaj about the curse, that you have been cursed, unfortunately, by my uneducated child. So I'm just informing you so that you can take some preparation before death. And he was very ashamed to give this news to Pariksit Maharaj. So Pariksit Maharaj lamented and desired a punishment. Pariksit Maharaj was also thinking, how can I, the ruling monarch king, as a Kshatriya, I should protect Brahminical culture? How can I insult a Brahmana? How come I did this heinous act of insulting a Brahmana? So Lord, please give me some punishment. So Pariksit Maharaj was expecting some punishment. And through the disciple of Samik Rishi, this news came that Pariksit Maharaj has been cursed. Then when Pariksit Maharaj was informed about this, he utilizes this curse to completely detach him from all material attachments and went to the bank of Ganges. There different sages were assembled. Paramatma inspired those sages that go to the bank of Ganges. Something great is going to happen. Then Pariksit Maharaj also comes. And Pariksit Maharaj asks those sages that I have very less time. Can you please tell me how to live in this world and how to leave this world? While staying in this world, what should be our lifestyle? How should we live in this world? And when we are departing from this world, how should we leave this world? So by the Yogamaya potency of the Lord, the sages could not answer this question. And then Sukadeva Goswami entered that, and everybody could understand that this is not any ordinary person. And they recognized Sukadeva Goswami to be a Paramahamsa, and they gave him a Vyasasana. And now Sukadeva Goswami will answer this question of Pariksit Maharaj. So Pariksit Maharaj again asked this question to Sukadeva Goswami, how to live and how to live. And with answer to this question, second canto will start. So here we have the 19 chapters of the first canto. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे, हरि हरि बोल. Yes, Rajendra Prabhu, what was your question?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, bro.
Prabhuji, I had that one doubt in chapter 12, and can you go back to the slide?
Yes, chapter 12. 12?
Yeah. So in chapter 12, Vidur, he goes for pilgrimage, no? And he hears Canto 3, 4 and return back. So here it is said Duryodhan banished Vidur, no? But by this time, I think Mahabharata was already over, no?
Yeah, so Mahabharata is over, but in the 13th chapter beginning, you can see Vidur is coming back. Now we have to give some context that where was Vidur. So this incident is not chronologically, like it is not that. So it has happened quite a lot time before. So up to this point is that subject matter of the chapter 12, that Pariksit Maharaj was protected in the womb and Yudhishthir Maharaj has done 3 horse sacrifice. And then it is told that also remember that Vidura was banished by Duryodhana. He has heard 3rd and 4th canto. So that is much before all of this. But that is also reminded before this statement is made that he comes back and counsels Dhritarashtra. That is reminded to the listener that you remember that Vidura was banished by Duryodhana and then he has heard 3rd and 4th canto. And now that Vidura is coming back. It's like reminding.
Okay, Haribol.
Yes. Any other questions? Today we went a little more over time. There was lots of details, so maybe we can stop here if you have any questions. Okay, yes, Vaibhava Prabhu.
That person's name was Gaurav Mukhana Prabhu.
The disciple of Samikrishi.
Was he from Gaur Leela?
No, actually, everything is eternal, right? So you know the kalpas. So in Satyuga also people worship Krishna. It is not that Krishna came in Dwapar. So people have experienced that Mahaprabhu comes in Kali Yuga. So people sometimes different personalities with the names of Gaura, Krishna we will find even before their reappearance again in that age of Kali.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu, for such nice, detailed summary, grand summary. It was good revision.
Yes, so we will revise 2nd canto in the next class. I think one class we should give, otherwise we will miss details. So it will take 2 more weeks to revise up to canto 3. Then we'll start canto 4. Okay. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Dai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.